up, everybody? We are in the rain delay right now in the current Toronto Blue Jays game, and it's a little bit of an unfortunate one because it looks like the Jays might lose because it has been an official game of 5 innings. Peter, it might be time to worry if you're the Toronto Blue Jays. We have a lot to discuss today. This was thrown together very quickly, so excuse Peter's lighting and stuff like that. This was a quick one thrown together because the Jays are currently in a pretty big rain delay right now, and it's gonna be an interesting one to discuss for the next little bit here. But yeah, if you're unfamiliar, this is how the Jays game. Oh, Addison Roger, the Jays game is looking a little bit interesting, and they are currently obviously losing by a score of 2-1, and it's not looking great because the offense has been bad for a very long time. And quite frankly, once Peter comes back, we'll discuss it some more, but it's been rough. What's up, Shane? Always down for a live stream talking ball. Yeah, and hopefully the Jays can get their stuff together sooner than later, because if they don't, then I don't even know. It's looking very bad. Oh, it's going to be interesting. Okay, Peter, you're back. Hopefully we're good
Yeah,
now.
I'm back. I'm back.
Peter, the offense, what's up,
Yeah.
gaming? What's up, fellas? How we all doing? Everyone haven't streamed in a little bit. Again, this was just thrown together when they went into a rain delay. We don't know how long the delay is going to be for. We'll discuss the Addison Berger call-up a little bit, and we'll have a video later. But, Peter, what are your thoughts on everything that's been going down so far?
Yeah, well, it's hard to judge anything based off today's game because the weather was so bad and it's really hard to get anything going. But this has been a problem that has persisted for the majority of the season, and the lineup hasn't really showed anything of promise. Vladdy still looks lost at the plate. Bo looks lost at the plate, and the top three in general just haven't looked good at any point of the season. So it's hard. It's hard for me to be optimistic about anything, and I'm usually the guy that is optimistic here. But man, not looking good, especially considering how good the pitching has been. Sucks. It sucks because it's just a problem that has persisted for the better part of a year now. And for whatever reason, they just can't figure it out. These are good players. They have a track record of being good. And for whatever reason, they just lost it in these past couple of seasons, and they haven't been able to find that made them successful. So I don't know, Nick.
Sure.
It is worrisome because it's a problem that has persisted, and it's not like, okay, they'll get out of it. They're just in a slump. This is a slump that's dating back to last year. So when is it going to turn around, if it ever turns around?
Yeah. What's up, Cam, Leah, New Brunswick, Doug, Craig, Vladdy Jordan? What's up, dudes? What's up, everyone? We're going to be going live more. Obviously, it's a bit harder with our schedules, but we're going to be going live a lot more, and we figured this was a good time. We'll be taking a lot of questions. I mean, I don't know how long we'll be live for, Peter, but we can just play it by air and see how long this rain delay goes for. I think if it's past... I know I just saw Keegan Matheson's tweet. Technically, if it's longer than a 30-minute rain delay, they can technically call the games. We might get another Jays L live on the broadcast here. But, yeah, a lot of discussion. The bright side, IKF is actually doing well. Who would trade Bo or Vlad? I don't know about that. There's a lot to discuss. We haven't been live since the season started, so there's a lot to discuss. Hit the like button if you're new here. But, yeah, Peter, quickly, I guess... you weren't there yesterday. Addison Berger, he was called up. He had a great game yesterday. Did go 0 for 4, but like a 400 expecting batting average. So that's a bright side of the Blue Jays right now, I guess.
Yeah, he hit the ball hard a couple of times. But what I didn't understand from that game yesterday is that the Jays have been analytically driven for a long time now, and their moves, in-game moves, are analytically driven.
Didn't
And
pinch hit
yesterday
Vogelbach.
you have Daniel Vogelbach coming up against a lefty, Angel Zerpa, and he gets to stay in the game. And I don't know if he's even had an at-bat against the lefty this year, and hasn't played in like 2 weeks, and then you're leaving him in a high leverage
Brutal.
spot to bat against a lefty. I know he had a good game, but when has John Schneider ever managed based off feel? And then you do the same thing with Addison Barger later in the game against Angel Zerpa as well. You're leaving a guy who's making his major league debut in there, who's playing a position for the first time in his life, to face a left-handed pitcher when you have Davis Schneider on the bench, when you have other options on the bench. So I just don't understand the thought process here. If you're the Blue Jays, pick a lane, man. Pick a lane. Are you an analytics-based team, or are you a feel-based team? And from everything that we've seen in the past couple of years, they're an analytically driven team. And that's not what we saw last night. And again, just a winnable game where they had so many runners in scoring position and just couldn't get the job done. And it's the same story. Every time they lose, it's a close game. They rarely get blown out. And that's due to them just not hitting when it matters most.
Yeah, and now we're looking right into the eyes of another loss to put us back at 500, which would be 14-14. And then Peter, we play tomorrow against the Dodgers, which is also like we'll see. It's still early, obviously, but yeah, there's some very scary things here. They were successful because of Semien hitting in front of Vladdy's leadership. Yeah, Semien was one that was definitely I paid a lot of money, but he was. I mean, I saw the tweet. I'm sure a lot of Jays fans saw him. Peter, you probably saw it as well. We kind of share the same timeline these days, but it was the year in 2021 where Teoscar, Vladdy, Bo, and Semien all had 100 RBIs, and now I saw someone say,
Yeah.
who knows if anyone's even going to get 100 RBIs on the team this year. I don't know if, like, I'm sure someone will. Maybe
No one did last season,
no.
so yeah, it wouldn't shock me. Wouldn't shock me if no one hit that 100 mark. And yeah, that's when the lineup was at its best, when you had depth and you had 1 through 9 a threat to hit a home run. Even Randall Grichuk had a good season that year, and he hit 20 home runs in the 8 spot. So there was just a wealth of riches, 1 through 9 in that lineup, and I don't know, man. It's been
It's been rough.
it's been a big fall off from what we saw in 2021. I thought that was like the best offense I've ever seen from a Blue Jays team, and they just unfortunately missed the playoffs by 1 game, and then you lose Marcus Semien in the offseason. I don't want to relive that whole time because it was a tough season. The Jays didn't play at home for the majority of the year. A lot of people say that's where Vladdy got all of his inflated numbers from, but I'll digress on that. I don't think that's true. But still, like the Jays were really good that year, and they had a lot of uncertainty surrounding themselves, and they still found a way to be one of the best teams in baseball down the stretch. And fortunately, just didn't work out in their favor. But yeah, that was a very fun year to watch. I mean, I enjoyed that season a lot more than I had the last two, and that's because this current crop of players is just not enjoyable to watch. Nick, I don't know how else to put it. They're flailing away at pitches that they should be mashing. They're not playing the game the right way. A lot of boneheaded mistakes, and that wasn't happening when George Springer still had that bat speed and he was able to carry the team offensively. That wasn't happening when Marcus Semien was there playing every day and he was the most reliable player in baseball. I mean, that was just a different time, and now we're seeing kind of the bad things rear its ugly head for the Blue Jays. Vladdy and Bo are just proving that they're not able to lead a ball club to special places. And I don't know if it's time to move on from them, but you definitely needed to add other pieces around them in order to make this team better. And Justin Turner just was not enough. I know he's good. He's been the Blue Jays' best hitter and one of the best hitters in baseball, but you needed a bit more in terms of just leadership and guys that are going to make a massive difference on the team, and just haven't seen that yet. And yeah, the guys need to step up. The big time players need to step up, but are they big time players? I think we kid ourselves a little bit because they're big names. Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s got a Hall of Fame name, but he's not playing like a Hall of Famer. Bo Bichette has a Hall of Fame name, but he's not playing like a Hall of Famer. George Springer, I think he will be in Cooperstown one day, but he's just not the same George Springer that the Blue Jays signed a few years ago from Houston. So where is this production going to come from? I don't think we can say that it'll come internally anymore because we just haven't seen it. So I don't know, Nick. I'm running out of answers here, and I'm trying to remain optimistic, but it's hard because the AL East looks so good right now, and the Blue Jays are still in the mix, but they're hanging on by a thread, and we're only 20 something odd games into the season.
Yeah, and if they lose this one, presumably they'd be 5 back of the Yankees, which is still, I mean, it's doable. We'll play them a lot more, but yeah, the offense needs to get going, and we knew it. They didn't do enough in the offseason
Right.
offensively. They struck out on Shohei Ohtani. They got Justin Turner, who honestly, and when you look at the actual acquisitions versus the players they lost, Ross Atkins made all the right moves in not bringing back any of the players that he let go. Merrifield's been terrible, Espinal's been terrible, Matt Chapman's been terrible, all those. But he needed to add someone alongside Justin Turner, whether that was Jorge Soler, whether that was, I don't even know, just hitters. JD Martinez probably wouldn't fit with Justin Turner necessarily, but just they needed 2 minimum. Now, obviously, they were bouncing on a bounce back. But yeah, Springer is having a another down year, and we were hoping he was going to bounce back. Bo, I'm not too worried about Bo. I think he'll come back, but I also think that Vladdy might end up just being an 810 OPS guy on his career rather than that 900 plus. And right now he's not even approaching that, but I think at the end he might be doing that. Is Joey Votto ever going to get healthy? You need Berger and Martinez to be up there, and that's why I think I think IKF is doing pretty good gaming, to be honest. He's been one of our better players throughout the year, which is kind of funny. But he's not what the Jays need necessarily. He doesn't hit great. He's 730 OPS maybe ish this year, maybe 750 or 710. I can't remember which one. But I mean, I don't know. They're gonna call up the young guys, I think, Relvis soon to get some power in here because they did it with Berger, and Berger could find himself in an everyday role if he hits well.
But what's that going to do, though? What's that seriously?
Provide
Like, what is
more
that?
offense, hopefully.
Okay, how much offense can you realistically get out of a 22-year-old Aroldis Martinez who's never had an MLB at bat?
I don't know. But
I don't know.
The alternative is just the offense suck. So I guess.
But you got to try things, but
It's not going to fix it.
like, and you're saying you're not worried about Bo Bichette. He'll get back. Get back to what exactly? To an 800 OPS?
Yeah.
Be an above average hitter? Like he's not an elite hitter. Let's not kid ourselves. He's not a superstar hitter. He has a good batting average and hits a fair share of doubles, but he doesn't get on base at a great clip. He's never had an OPS eclipsing 850. So what exactly is he going to get back to? Because he's not a superstar. And I want to say one thing about Vladdy.
You're going all into that.
It's frustrating, Nick, because I've been a fan of this team my whole life. And never have I seen such a lifeless group of players in terms of the offense. I've never seen it. And Vladdy, when he made that mistake the other day, I would have benched him right then and there. And I no, just for that game, you got to send a message to the guys in the clubhouse that you're not allowed to half-ass your way through a baseball game. Every single game matters in the American League East Division. And he single-handedly lost them that game. You could say whatever you want about the error. Sure, stuff happens, whatever. But he went 0 for 5 that game, and he came up in some big spots in the batter's box, and he failed to deliver like he has all season long. He's looked disinterested from the minute the season started. I don't know what's going on with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He looks lost in the batter's box. He's swinging at whatever. It looks like he's swinging his bat underwater. That's how slow his bat speed is. He can't get it through the zone in time, which is very concerning because a big thing about him coming up to the big leagues was how good his bat speed was and how generational his bat speed was. But now it looks like he's just flailing away at it. Like I want to make like a depiction here. So he's like this, and he's just going around slowly. It looks like that in real time. It seriously looks like that in real time. And that's very concerning to me. So I would have benched him. But John Schneider doesn't want to hurt his feelings, his star player's feelings. So I've used the quotations quite a few times when describing Vladimir Guerrero Jr. But why not? Why not bench him in that scenario, Nick? He just lost you a game. And he's going to do the same thing next day. Has he gotten a hit since then?
I guess the reason, if you're technically talking, the reason would be because it's his first error of the year, I would assume. But yeah, it was
a pretty big one. It was a pretty big one.
It was a bad mistake. Someone's saying the same thing. I mean, Owen's been a guy who leads the league and hits every year since 2019. Isn't an elite hitter interesting? I think he's an elite hitter in the set. It's tough because like there's a lot of hitters that are have better OPSs. Like you have to, I guess he's an elite contact hitter. I guess to a degree, I guess would be the word, or like I don't know. He's like an 820 OPS. Yes, he gets. I don't know how to word it. He gets a lot of hits, but he doesn't have a lot of power. So then like I don't know if you can put him in the conversation. Like elite to me is like top 5 in the MLB, and I don't think he's a top 5 total hitter in the MLB. I can name 5 that are better. That being said, I'm not taking anything away from Bo Bichette. I think he'll be a decent one. But yeah, Vladdy's been guessing up there. I don't know though. I think he's trying. I think it's just he's in his head. But maybe
you'd hope he's trying because he's getting paid $19.9 million this year. So yeah, I don't know if you give me that kind of salary, Nick. Yeah, I'm going to be trying as well. I'll be doing my best out there if you cut me a check for $19 million. Is that the bar for Vladdy? For him to try? Oh, it's okay. It's all right, Vladdy. You went 0 for 19 in your last 6 games, but you're trying real hard out there. I'm proud of you, bud.
Uh,
Yeah, that's the bar for him. Come on,
I guess
man.
I meant more so in the sense of he. I don't. I guess you could say he looks disinterested. I think he's just in a huge slump for the past like 2 years. But I don't know if me. I honestly think the hitter he is just an 830 OPS guy, and I think he'll probably get back to that by the end of the season. I just don't know if he's the 2021 Vladdy that we have grown to have grown. Every I did not expect this out of you today. I don't blame you. To be honest, it's been really hard to watch. Now, let's go into some positives as well here. And the positives are pitching has been good. The defense, aside from that Vladdy thing, has been good. And the team's overall, I think, approach has been good as a collective regarding getting walks and all that. And there's been some highlights. But someone else who's not going to fly under the radar here, Peter, has been arguably worse than both of them, is Alejandro Kirk. And that's been another major issue. I mean, he is beyond been bad this season and last season as well. And the issue with Kirk is obviously he's a catcher. It doesn't really matter. He's not offensive first like he used to be. But Peter, with his when he gets on base, he kind of clogs the bases. That's obviously known. But he's not getting on base at all. So he's like a zero in the sub Raptors. He's a zero on hitting right now. Obviously, he's one of the best framers and a very good defensive catcher. But the amount of times he's come up with the bases loaded, with man on second, man on first, man on second and third, and has lazy flied out, popped out. It happened twice already in today's game. All of these things. It's probably the worst start offensively to a season we could have asked for regarding, and we're still at 500. So
Yeah, but Nick, we know that the pitching is good. We know that the defense is good. Like that was not the issue coming into the season. The issue was, where is Vladdy going to be in game 162 in terms of his numbers and his impact on the game? He's had zero impact on the game. None whatsoever. And Bo, to touch on that comment that he is an elite hitter, he's not an elite hitter. Elite hitter is Bobby Witt Jr. It's Ronald Acuna. It's guys like
I guess
that.
it depends on your definition of
Elite is, like you said, Nick.
For me,
It's top five.
Yeah, and I don't think
It's top five, and it's a guy that's an MVP candidate year in, year out. We've seen flashes from Bo. Yeah, he leads the league in hits, but so did Whit Merrifield for 3 years in a row with the Kansas City Royals. Was he ever considered an elite hitter around baseball? I'm not bashing the guy. He is what he is, but he's not a superstar in the game today. Why are we kidding ourselves here? Why are we make believe that we have two superstars on our team when we don't? It's that simple, and it's okay. It's okay. Maybe the expectations were a little bit too high for Vladdy, and if he settles in as a 820 OPS guy year in, year out, I guess that's all right. Whatever. But he's not going to get paid the amount of money that he wants if that's what he's going to produce year in, year out. Elite hitters are top five players in the game. And Vladdy and Bo are just not that, even though we've kind of tricked ourselves and convinced ourselves that they are. And your point to Alejandro Kirk, I don't know, Nick. Like, he's not a guy that's heavily relied upon. He's hitting seventh, eighth in the lineup. Like, if you're relying on Kirk to be your guy and drive in runs, I think you're in trouble.
Yeah, but he's being
and
nothing.
I know he was better. I know he was better in 2022 when he won the Silver Slugger award, but yeah, he's giving you nothing, but so are the guys who are hitting 1, 2, 3 in your lineup every single night. So I think that's more concerning.
Oh, I definitely agree. The Vladdy and Bo is definitely, specifically Vladdy, but yeah, Bo as well is more concerning. I'm just saying that, like, the Kirk thing, it's getting bad. And this is 2 years in a row now. But we have Danny Jansen, and that's fine. But I don't know. The Kirk thing just been upsetting me. But yeah, you're right. They're not relying on him. He's now our 8-hitter. I mean, Dalton Varsho is having a breakout year, which is good. I mean, the silver lining is if Vladdy and the guys can bounce back, then we'll be in good shape. But I just don't know if that's going to happen. And that's the big thing. Juan Soto should have been moved this offseason. I mean, yeah, that would have been a good move, but they were going for Shohei. They were going for
Shane's calling us, Matt is calling us clowns here, saying we're feeding into the problem. I disagree with you. I think we're just being realistic, and we don't set unrealistic expectations on the players. I never said that Vladdy was going to have I never said that Vladdy was going to have 1,000 OPS this year. I never expected him to get back to 2021. What I did say, though, is that considering the lack of moves that they've made this offseason or the lack of impact moves that they've made this offseason, I said that Vladdy had to be the best player on the team and he had to be the best hitter on the team because we've seen his ceiling. We've seen where he set the bar at its highest. And Bo just can't get to that level. He can be very consistent. He can be more consistent than Vladdy, but he'll never put up superstar numbers like Vlad did in 2021. So that's where the expectations come from. It's from the bar that he set in that season. And he's failed to even come close to those numbers, where now it's looking like it's just it was an anomaly and something that he'll never get back to again. This is more the type of player that he is. And I guess that's all right because you haven't paid him that exorbitant amount of money, but it sucks. It totally sucks because we had big expectations for him coming into the year, slimmed down. He was looking like he was in his best shape of his life. And he's reverted back to ground zero now. Like he looks worse than he did in his rookie year.
I agree.
Which is not good.
Yeah, right now.
Yes, he does.
So far, yes.
Yeah, he does. He does, Nick.
But I don't think
let's
that's
not beat around the bush.
I don't think it's gonna end like that, though. I don't think it's gonna end like that. I mean, he was below it, but maybe. And I want to ask everyone in the chat now. Yeah, Matt, this is nothing compared. I mean, this is nothing compared. But anyways, I'm gonna ignore that. Leave in the chat, and Peter, I'm going to ask you as well. We can do a letter grade. What would you grade the Jays season so far on a letter grade? Everyone, let us.
Okay. So you want me to go?
Yeah, you can go. You can go. Everyone think carefully based on everything.
We'll wait for a couple of answers to roll in, and we'll see. We'll see what's going on.
I guess that's assuming the loss today. I guess that's but not that will change too much. But
the bright spot is that the game. The rain should be stopping at around 5:00 in Kansas City. So the game should get underway. They didn't want to call it, which is a good sign.
Okay, so we can win.
And also Cole Reagans is going to be out of the game because he already threw 5 innings, excuse me. So I'm seeing a lot of C's.
I was at a C plus.
D+.
I was at a C plus.
I was going to say C plus as well because they're still winning series. Again, the same problems are happening again where we're seeing them not being able to close out series and not being able to sweep series. And I think that's a bigger issue when it comes to playoff time because it's looking like another early playoff exit if they even get there at this point. And it's hard for me to be optimistic. I'm sorry. I've tried. I'm not packing it in. I'm still going to watch every single inning that the Blue Jays play this year, but I don't feel too good about October, if there even is an October for this team.
What's concerning is I haven't seen, which makes sense, obviously, a single B of any sort from anyone in here, which is fair because they don't deserve it. But you would like to think that, I mean, really before this series, I probably would have given him a B minus if we're being quite honest. But I mean, this has been a pretty bad series. It's been
piss poor. It's been a piss poor series. That's what it's been.
We're going to throw this out there real quick, Peter. I think it's time to I think the Blue Jays and John Schneider have they've effed around and they've found out. If you haven't seen this graphic, I'm going to play it for you guys just to get it going.
See, as you can see, the more you around,
let's go. I like it.
The more you're going to find out.
That's what the Blue Jays have been doing all year. Shout out to that graphic there, but that's what they've been doing all year, and if doesn't get old. But yeah, pitching A, hitting F minus. I mean, pitching A, not A plus. Yeah, pitching A, hitting F. Yeah, I'd go for that. 500 teams so far with the rain delay, probably 13-13. It's part of your job description on Jays. Yeah, we got to watch.
Yeah, well, Shane, I'll tell you this, Shane. I'm not missing much if I don't watch all 9 innings. I could look at the box score and I could look at the 8-minute recap on MLB.com. And I think I'll be all caught up because all I'll have to see is Vladdy swinging out of his shoes and striking out on a 3-2 pitch that's 17 inches off the plate. And then I'll be able to form an opinion on the game. I don't think I'm missing much. I watch the game because I'm a fanatic, and I have been since I'm 6 years old. That's not going to change. But it's just been rough. It's not enjoyable to watch. If you were to give me a prison sentence of watching like 100 straight hours of Blue Jays baseball, I might not make it through those 100 hours the way that this team is playing. I'm going to leave it there.
Rather play
I'm
the
going to leave it there.
2021. They need to get rid of Martinez and make Matt Haig the hitting coach. I think Matt Haig is like, I don't think it's, honestly, I'm going to be honest, I don't even think it's like a coaching issue regarding the hitting. I don't think it's dramatically. I think at some point we had to put accountability on the hitters, because they changed up some of they got Matt Haig in, Grounder Guerrero Jr. How does Blue Jays fans boo Vernon Wells back then and not Vladdy? Because there's no point to boo the guy. There's no point to boo the guy. Oh, we are running out of Zoom time. I forgot about that. We have a Zoom. So Peter, we'll get you back in when you get kicked out. Whenever you get kicked out.
This has been a pretty good stream so far. I think people are getting things off their chest.
It's a nice session for all of us to relax.
This is good. This has make me feel good. This has made me feel good. Better about the performance that we've seen from this team. It's not going to change what's happening on the field, but I feel better. So thank you to the 120 people in here.
Shout out. How did Jays fans do? Any final? Peter, we can wrap up we have 10 minutes left in the meeting. It's up to you if you want to. We can keep going, or we can.
We can keep going.
Cool.
Keep going. If you guys have any questions,
question
let us
time.
know.
It's been a while for us. Question time. The screenshots I have from yesterday's video, is just the Berger thing. And again, Berger's been pretty exciting, Peter. That's good. He looked good yesterday. He'll probably play tomorrow against Tyler Glasnow. That's a tough matchup. But he'll probably play tomorrow against Tyler Glasnow. Vlad needs to go back to looking for fastballs, not the off-speed stuff. The way the universe works, we'll probably sweep the Dodgers. Yeah, I'm going to be at the Royals game. 2 games. We're going to be at 2 Royals games on Monday and Wednesday. So I don't know if anyone's going to those games, but I'll be there. And Peter will be at Montreal Thursday. So
should be fun, man. Should be fun.
If anyone
Looking forward to that.
Sir, if anyone's at the Royals games, let me know, and I'll probably put a community post or something out. But I would definitely. I think we're meeting Shane there, so that'll be good. We're not trading anything because you don't have anything to trade. We have some stuff, but they're not going to trade Tiedemann. They're not going to trade Arelvis. So yeah, not really. How's Berger? He's been good. He looked good yesterday. He looked really good yesterday. We obviously didn't have a post game with all the hockey playoffs going on and stuff, but.
Hit the ball hard a few times. Yeah, and
that's a good question. Sorry, interrupt you. When do they entertain firing Schneider? I think if they don't make the playoffs or they don't win a playoff game or series, they will fire him. That's what I think.
I think that would be too late. I think you got to do it sooner than later. And I don't think he makes that big of a difference, as much of a difference as people say he does. But sometimes you just need a different voice, and it looks like he's lost that clubhouse. There's no accountability on the team. Guy makes a mistake, he's back in the lineup playing first base and hitting second the next day, and a guy is just not performing, doesn't get moved down in the order, just back in status quo with this team. So I think he's just lost the group.
It's possible,
and it looks like that to me. The same way Charlie Montoyo did. And when John Schneider first came in, he was a breath of fresh air because the players knew him and whatnot. So I don't know. I think you got to entertain it in the next couple of weeks if it's not working. And I know the Jays are still paying Montoyo, and they're still going to have to be paying Schneider if they fire him. But he didn't spend much money this offseason, so you have the money to go ahead and get a new coach because you saved $700 million on Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, that's a good point. You guys think Manoah can bounce back? Do I think he can? Yeah. Do I think he will? No. That's kind of where I'm at with Alek Manoah. But we'll see. We'll see. Brios Cy Young is going strong preseason bet. Peter did throw that one out there, and shout out to Peter for that one. He did predict that one. He had a great outing. I have the screenshot, but I forgot to put it in the generator there. So it said he had 5 innings, 2 runs, I believe. 5
innings, 2 runs, and made one mistake to Salvador Perez, and just a very tough day to pitch in. We saw Cole Reagan's really struggling with his command as well. Barrios did about as well as he could have in considering the weather, the wind to start off the game, and the rain. It was just a torrential downpour for the majority of those 5 and those 6 innings or whatever.
Peter, any updates from the reporters about the game, or was that one you gave?
I haven't seen anything, but I do believe that it should resume. They still have the tarp on the field,
I
and
hope so.
rain should be quieting down now. But
I hope so.
I don't
NFL
know.
draft. Someone asked me, Nick, why are you not going to the Dodgers game? I have to be in town where I am at now for some stuff until Monday. So I'll be in Toronto Monday, and they play Kansas, so wasn't able to make it for the weekend. Would have been great, though. The Dodgers would have been great. But I'll make it to Kansas City. Well, not to Kansas City, but to watch. I mean, Royals are great. Get to see Bobby Witt.
Yeah, and last time I went to some Jays games last year, I mean, a lot of listeners came up to me and said, "Hey, I recognize you
Yeah,
from Jays Digest, so don't be shy. Go say
dude.
hi to Nick.
Let me know. I'll be
Go
there.
grab a beer with him after the game. Do whatever you
All
want to
in.
do. But should be fun, man. I'm excited for you, man.
Been a
Nothing like the
while.
Rogers Center.
Been
Yeah.
too long. Google says games in a delay. Yeah, it's been way too long. I don't even know who's pitching at that game. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I don't know who'd be presumed pitcher that game, but I'm sure I'll figure that out. Unpopular opinion: Cito wasn't a good manager. I would trade Vladdy, but afraid Atkins would trade him for a high school player. Vershow leadoff. Peter, would you change the lineup at all?
Yeah, I would.
Like
I
Springer
would.
in like the
I
six
wouldn't.
hole?
I wouldn't move Varsho though. I'd keep him in the 5 spot. He's looked really comfortable there.
Maybe
But like,
Bo, Vladdy, Turner. Uh,
mm,
I mean, it's rough. Get up on moving Springer. I mean, maybe.
don't have much to choose from, being honest. Like in terms of
Yeah, if Springer's not playing well.
changes.
I mean, yeah, Springer's not playing well. There's like
Um,
nothing.
no, he's not. He's not hitting well at all.
They're not going to trade
I
Vladdy.
don't know. Maybe maybe
Let us know in the chat what
try
you're.
Biggio in the leadoff spot.
Yeah,
What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose?
Biggio, Bichette, Vladdy, Turner, Varsho, Springer. I guess the lefties. I mean, let's say Berger, Jansen. I guess who am I missing? IKF or Clement or Schneider? Any of those
This is
guys?
what I would do. I would put Biggio first. I would put Justin Turner second. You know what? I'll put Varsho third,
It's really
Bo
changing it up.
fourth, Vlad fifth.
Mm.
Try you. What do you have to lose, man? You have the same performance day in, day out with this lineup, and John Schneider or the analytics team or whoever the hell is making the lineup on a daily basis just refuses to change whatever is going on. And I don't know, like, what do you have to lose? What, you're going to score 2 runs instead of 3?
The only thing about Turner at 2 is that he's such a good RBI runner and scoring position hitter that maybe
You
would
want to
like him
get your
lower.
best hitter up the most.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point as well. I like Peter's top 5. Yeah, we're throwing stuff at the wall now because I mean, at what point? I may as well just change it. Yeah, give me. They should just get Clement in there too. He's been one of our best hitters as well. You could throw Clement in the leadoff spot. I wouldn't even hate that. I would not hate having Clement in the leadoff
Try
spot.
something.
It's fast.
And Bo looked really good in the number 4 spot in 2021 when you had all those run producers. Maybe he's more comfortable in a run producing spot. I don't like him at the top of the order. I don't, because he doesn't take enough walks.
Someone literally just tweeted, fans presenting alternative Jays lineups and all of one problem. Okay, yeah, people are like tweeting about that right now, about the changing up the lineup. There's no update on the game either, which is a bit scary. I really hope that they get going soon. I really hope they get going. Let's get gaming. Buy a beer on me. You're gonna need 20 for that game. I don't have the super chat animation. Let's get gaming, but I do for some reason. I have the Mo one.
Nick's not a beer guy.
So we'll assume you're Mo. We'll assume you're Mo. Super Mo. That's what we'll throw in there for now. Thank you so much. Thank you, gaming. Yeah, I'm gonna need something. I'm gonna need something for that. I'm hoping. That's why I'm hoping to get on a win streak before I go down, so that way they can get some momentum going. I mean, once I'm there, I'm there for 2 games, so hopefully, I mean, maybe they will win. There's a bar on the $505 beers. Yeah, I'm not a beer guy. Funny enough, you called it. I'm not a beer guy.
I'm a beer guy. I like beer.
Who is gonna be? Does anyone know who's gonna be pitching on that Monday? So if Peter, the meeting's about to end, so I'll just invite you to a new one.
Yeah,
when it
let's do that.
expires. So I will have a screenshot up or something in the meantime while I sort that out. But does anyone know who's gonna be pitching Monday? Shane, I don't know if you're able to do some. We can do some mental math and come
Nick,
back.
I'll leave and just invite me to a
Cool.
new one.
Okay, we're going to the solo one for a second here now while we're getting Peter going. It'll be a backup for Mo. I'll be backup for Mo. Yeah, again, if anyone's going to the games Monday or Wednesday upcoming, I will be there, and I'd love to meet some of you guys. Like Peter said, he got introduced to a lot of you guys showed up for that. I'll probably post a community post, but if anyone's watching the game, let me know. You can hit us up on Twitter. You can hit me up on Instagram. You can probably find my Instagram pretty easily. Okay, we're getting Peter back in here. Any questions for us? This is rather Jack Daniels very expensive. Yeah, I would as well. I definitely would as well. Okay, this is nice. This is interesting. I don't know why my camera is so small, but 1 second. We're getting my camera back in here. Just bear with me. Classic zoom. I don't know what's going on. We're back. Just bear with me. We're working on it. Then Monday I'll be there. Gaming, you'll be there on Monday? I'll be there as well. Let's let me know when you're there, and we can definitely meet up. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Should be Rodriguez. Yariel gets Monday. That's great. That is ideal. So that means on Wednesday would be Barrios then, right? Or yeah. Okay. Bear with me here, and I'll throw the screenshot up for a second. Shout out Johnny for the Berger stuff. I'm just getting stuff going. All right. Okay. We're back. Apologies for that. I don't know what happened. Bros last night to. Yeah, it was brutal. They definitely should have pinch hit for Vogelbach. Took the cake for me. Yariel gets Monday, so Yariel pitched yesterday, so then it'd be Barrios, and then it would be Bassett. So I get to watch Bassett then on Wednesday, right? I think. If Yariel pitches Monday, who's two after Yariel Rodriguez? Because Yariel pitched yesterday, so it'd be whoever's pitching tomorrow. Yeah, so it would be Bassett. I will share my screen now. Just give me a second.
Is David talking about not pinch hitting yesterday?
Yeah.
I don't know if you missed the introduction to this live stream,
Peter was fired
David,
up about it.
but yeah, I was pretty fired up about that because past 2 years the Jays have really proved that they're an analytics-based team. Everything that they do is analytically based.
It is shaky.
Their lineups, we see Clement only play against lefties, Schneider pretty much only play against lefties, and Biggio doesn't play against righties. But yesterday you have a guy who hasn't played in 2 weeks in Daniel Vogelbach. You have another guy making his major league debut, and they're left in there against a lefty reliever in Angel Zerpa. And yeah, maybe they go to the bullpen. Maybe they bring in a righty if you change them. But you have Justin Turner on the bench. You have Davis Schneider on the bench. You have the options to make those changes, and you don't. So what is it? Like, what is it with John Schneider here? Is he an analytics manager? Is he a field guy? I don't think he's a field guy because he pulled Jose Barrios after 3 stellar innings in a wild card playoff game. So I don't think he manages based off the field. I think he has a bunch of different people in their ear. And for whatever they decided yesterday that it was the right time to leave in a rookie and a guy who hasn't played in 2 weeks against left-handed pitchers. Don't really understand that. I don't know your thoughts on that, Nick, but
No, I agree. It didn't make sense anyways. Even like the analytics would favor switching and feel would favor switching.
I'm not a big analytics guy. I like managing based off of feel. But if you're a full analytics team like the Blue Jays are, what are you doing?
James Norris. Time for a Pat Gillick move and big trade like the Joe Carter move. Thank you so much, James, for the 20. It means a lot. I mean, yeah.
Thanks, James.
Yeah, I mean, a big trade. I think a big trade comes if I'm way behind in the live, but I'd give the Jays a B minus. Shout out Becky. Jays a B minus or C plus. Yeah, C plus is the rating I gave as well. I'm with you. Said it all season. Yeah, big trade might be on the. I mean, if they're out of it by the deadline, or if they're like, I don't know, I can't see them selling. It's like Ross Atkins' last spot, like chance, I think, I think he might get fired too if we don't have a good season. But again, we're only 26 games in, 25 games in. This is the 26th game. So, or 14 and
Yeah,
what is
yeah,
our
they're 13
13
and
11?
12.
13
13
12.
and 12.
Jeez, yeah. What's up, Taco?
And might be 13 and 13 after today if the game doesn't get underway. It should. Still no update there. I've been looking at my TV, but I can't find anything. Yeah, thanks, James. Thanks,
Yeah,
Gaming,
thank you so
again
much.
for the donations. Appreciate it. But like, it feels like a computer is managing this team. And then yesterday, the computer just malfunctioned. So they had to actually manage a game for the first time all season, and then they blew it. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's so frustrating, so damn frustrating to watch this team because you know how talented they are. You've seen the flashes, especially from the individual players. You saw how good Springer was when he first came over. Saw how good Vladdy was in 21, and then Bo has been for the past few years. So you see all of that. And for whatever reason, the team as a whole just can't put it together. And even when the offense does score runs, the pitching then craps out and you don't get a good performance out of your starter or the bullpen blows it. And nothing could ever be working at the same time for this team. And that's what frustrates me the most. I don't have confidence in them to pick up big wins. And that's showing itself here in the early part of the season. I just don't know what to make of this team. I really don't.
Jeez. End of the season or trade them at max value. Yeah, I think they're gonna have a climax coming up here. The word I'm looking for is something that I can't remember right now. A tipping point or a whatever regarding Vladdy and Bo and potentially trading them. That'll happen 100%. Now, I'm not saying a trade doesn't happen 100%, but they're going to have a time where they need to make a decision, and that is going to be very, very soon.
Yeah, I see it this way, Nick. You either need a long winning streak or a long losing streak to say that the season is over or the
Yep.
season is going to be a resounding success. And we haven't seen either of that from the Blue Jays. You can't just play 500 baseball in the AL East. You can't. You won't make it. You won't survive over the course of 162. And I guess it sucks for the Jays because they would probably win four out of the other five divisions that there are in baseball, or three out of the other
But
five
so would the
divisions.
other AL East teams, right? So
Yes, exactly. But that's the issue. You know, that's the issue. You got to figure something out. The Yankees, even without Garrett Cole, even with their slew of injuries, they're finding ways to win. The Orioles too, without Kyle Bradish, who finished top five in Cy Young voting last year, they're picking up wins and they're getting contributions from everyone. But the Jays aren't. And the guys that are supposed to be the big time contributors are no shows so far this to start this season. So what are we talking about here? Well, the biggest issue is that maybe your guys aren't as good as you think your guys are. And Ross Atkins has been saying, "Oh, here we go. We're going to get contributions internally. Guys are going to turn it around." We've been waiting for that for 3 years now. It's yet to happen.
yep. Trade Vlad in the offseason, give Soto 500 mil. The offseason, I think no matter what happens, this offseason is going to be a wild one. I would give Juan Soto the farm. I just don't know if he's going to come the farm. Back the trucks up for Juan Soto, but I don't think he's going to come to Toronto. I just don't think it's going to happen. But I mean, maybe best teams in AL East have best offenses. The Jays used to. The Jays definitely used to have a very, very good offense. And yeah, there's still no update regarding. Hit the like button if you are new. Let's get to 50 likes. Yeah, Peter, there's still no.
Someone said 5:15. Heavy rain is supposed to stop.
It's a game.
I mean, I hope they get this. I hope they get this game underway here, just because
A 5 inning loss
a
would
one
suck.
run a 1 run loss in 5 innings would totally suck, especially considering how the last two games unfolded. You need this win heading into Toronto tomorrow. You got to find a way to scratch a couple of runs across and get this W, and then you're off to tomorrow. It's easier said than done with this Blue Jays team because they go down by 1 run and you feel like, all right, well, they're down by 20, so might as well turn the TV off. At least that's the vibe that you get from this team. But yeah, they need this one if it does get underway, and if it doesn't, then yeah, that's a gut shot heading into tomorrow, no doubt.
No time off either. Play in Toronto against LA
Yep.
tomorrow. So they have to take care of business. We're gonna give him 600 million. Yeah, who knows? I don't know. It's too early to talk about off-season acquisitions for me. It's too early. It's definitely too early for.
He's the best hitter in baseball, at least he has been this season. So yeah, he's worth it.
Yeah, I'd
He's
give it to him.
definitely worth it. The guy walks a ton. He hits home runs. He comes up in big RBI spots. He's World Series winner with the Washington Nationals.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, give it to him if he's willing to come here. There's no doubt. But like, it's not even the point where we say, "Oh, what's he going to change?" Like, yeah, he would change everything for the Blue Jays. So give it to him if he wants to come here.
like
But
Otani would.
are the Blue Jays in the right position to give him 500 million or 600 million? Do they think they're going to be competitive enough with just Juan Soto? I don't know.
We'll be going. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be wild. I don't know. It's a long season. I mean, we're still over 100 games
It's
left.
not over.
No,
It's
it's
not
definitely
over.
not over. It's like the Jays are still in an okay spot. It's just that the eye test is scary. The eye test is a little bit scary when you look at how bad the offense has been. And maybe in hindsight, yeah, we should have given Simeon that extra 100 million or whatever he wanted, or
Yeah,
given
they should
like
have.
definitely should have. But at the time, I don't know. You like the Varsho trade looked bad last year. Now it's looking like a very good trade for the Blue Jays, and that could change by the end of the year. It could go up and down. Like there's a lot of things, and the Jays could go on an offensive hot streak. Probably won't happen, but it could happen. And then we're talking a month from now, and they're doing fine. So there's a lot of different ups and downs.
Yeah, and sure, like we can talk about the Varsho trade or whatever, but Simeon, we lost him for nothing.
Yeah,
So that's what hurt the most. And he's someone that's so consistent. I think he's a top 15 player in baseball,
thank you, Dave.
and he's going to be for a long time. He doesn't miss games. He's so consistent, and I would have never gotten rid of him. He was a true leader on the team, and Bo was at his best when he had Marcus Simeon by his side, and a lot of those guys were at their best when they had Marcus Simeon as the de facto leader of that team. Because not only is he a great leader, he's a fantastic player and a true superstar player. So that's why you need a guy like that. And yeah, I thought that that was the biggest loss that the Blue Jays have had in like
Definitely.
5 or 6 years because he was so important to that team. And yeah, the Blue Jays are okay right now. They're treading water and they're finding ways to win, but that's just not good enough. Like even if they do go on a hot streak and make the playoffs like backdoor like they have in the past couple of seasons, do we really see them doing anything come playoff time? The way that they've performed. Like
I don't
I
know.
know the motto is get in and get hot when you get in, but I can't see it. I can't see it. And I tried to remain optimistic, but this is not a 26 game problem that we're talking about. This is a 188 game problem that we're talking about. This has persisted from last year. So it's not like there's been any changes.
You won a World Series in Texas. That shows enough. Yeah, I mean, that's gonna be one that hurts. I don't really blame them in hindsight. Obviously, I blame them, but in the moment, I kind of don't as much. But uh, I don't know. I mean, they made the right calls not bringing back any of the free agents that we had this year, at least. But they needed to go out and get someone else, so you can't really give them a pass for that um, either. It's just not how it works. Peter, I think this might be
Yeah.
a good time to wrap it up, or in a
Yeah,
few
just
minutes. Yeah, sure.
one more thing on that. Like because you didn't get Otani and that was like the big fish in the off season. I feel like you could have overpaid for somebody else and then dealt with it later. But them not doing that, I don't know if it signifies them having faith in the team. It signifies them not having faith in the team because why are we going to spend money if the team is just not going to get any better? That's the way I saw it. So they cheaped out in free agency. They got IKF for 2 years. A guy was going to play every day for them at a $7.5 million hit, and then Justin Turner as a stopgap for 1 year. So that shows to me the opposite of what they were talking about. It shows a lack of faith in the group that you have because they're not willing to spend money and surround you with talent because they don't believe that it's enough talent to bring that group over the top. So we'll see how the rest of the season goes. But First 25 games, the early returns not looking good for the Blue Jays, and they got to figure something out quickly because they might not even make the playoffs at the rate that they're going at. Even the Red Sox have looked better than them to start off the year, and the Red Sox were the unanimous pick to finish last in the AL East. So I'll leave it there, but let's figure something out
Let's,
here, Jays.
let's,
Let's do it.
let's lock it in. Gaming. Nick gotta go to work. Yes, sir. We'll be in touch. I'll be at the game Monday, so maybe I'll see you around there. I'll probably see you around there. Yeah, that'll wrap it up. No word yet on if the Jays will start. We'll probably have a video at some point. I mean, maybe, depending on what happens with the game and everything. Just stay in touch with that. But yeah, it's been a good one. It's been a good way for all of us to get some stuff off of our chest. It's been a rough game, and then a rough past week for the Blue Jays. Really a rough season when you're looking at it from aside from the first 10 games. It's been pretty
ugly.
Yeah, it's been pretty ugly. But that'll wrap it up. Everyone, thank you for tuning in. The donations, we do appreciate those. We'll definitely be going live. Definitely be going live more. Probably not next week, so I'll be on vacation. But once we're back, we'll be live. Or maybe Peter will end up going live. Who knows? We'll figure it out. But thank you guys for any final words, Pete, before we do.
Yeah, appreciate you guys again. Pretty good turnout considering it's a weekday, and we weren't really sure how this stream was going to go. But it seems that the fan base, or our fan base, echoes the same feeling as we do: concern, frustration, just a nauseating feeling in your stomach, whatever it is. Yeah, anger too. I mean, we all feel the same way. At the end of the day, we're all fans, so feel however you want to feel. Don't let anyone dictate how this team makes you feel, because you're entitled to your opinion and you're entitled to feel how you want to feel. So let's hope the Jays can turn this around. Let's hope we're not talking about another early playoff exit, or a missed playoffs, worst case scenario. So stay tuned for what we got for you guys coming up. Have a lot more live streams as the NHL playoffs finish or roll along here. And
when the Leafs get eliminated in the next week.
Yeah, well, that should be in about a week from now, Nick. So it won't be too long. But yeah, so guys, stay tuned for these live streams, and we'll figure something out. We'll do our best to will the Jays into the playoffs, although I think it won't really provide much, but we'll do our best. So thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
We'll see you guys